I'm BB. Welcome back to our gosh darn dandy time show on YouTube. I'm going to be continuing with part 2 of education. Preschool to 12th grade public education, public schools in the US. This is a broad, vague topic, and I'm just doing anything and everything off the top of my head on a whim in front of the camera. No prompts, no notes, no YouTube helping me out. Just stuff I know from experience because I went to public schools from preschool until 12th grade. So, and I'm very well read and I love my YouTube for all my news sources. So, on this one, part 2 is going to be about math. Math in public schools. You got a lot of different curriculum, a lot of different brand names of workbooks and textbooks and all the big box sets that teachers order 3, 4, 5 months ahead of time and to prepare for the next school year. Depending on how many students they have to teach, whether it's grade school years, you're with your homeroom teacher for math, or if 2 grade level teachers per grade level switch off kids for a math A and a math B. And then when you get to middle school and high school, you may have 5 or 6 different math teachers per grade level offering math throughout 3 or 4 class periods per day, each one. And same in high school, you're going to have higher level math. Well, here's my question. Do we really need higher level math? I mean, for the most of us ordinary Americans, we're going to go into people jobs. We're going to go into work jobs. We're going to go into the workforce, into the labor industry, into food services. We're going to go into cashiering. We're going to go into retail. Not retail as in fancy little boutiques, but retail as in big box stores, working at Target or Walmart or Fred Meyer. We're going to be working at big box stores and major retail franchises. I'm going to be working at shopping malls. I'm going to be working at all the mall stores and just regular retail, folding clothes, stocking shelves, making the inventory look good, presentation, facing, which is making the labels and the good sides of the product stick out towards the customer's face and eyes. You're doing all that basic hands-on work. Do we really need calculus and pre-calculus and trigonometry and statistics in high school to help us with those little tiny hands-on, physical, make-it-look-good jobs? Probably not. I mean, yeah, we learn a few fun facts here and there in every math class that we remember for like 5 to 10 years onwards. What? And, when I was in high school, I didn't make it past Algebra 2. Like, literally. In 9th grade? No, 8th grade. 8th grade, I was in a pre-algebra. I was in pre-algebra, and I think I got like a C- that school year. I had a really bad teacher who only smiled when he gave students a failing grade, like a D or an F. I don't think we had E's. Or if he called you stupid. It's not that your answer was stupid, it's that you are stupid. If you answered a question that was abstract or vague, and he wasn't looking for a specific number, but he was looking for 5 different types of answers, and he disagreed with your answer, he would say, "You're stupid." No, your answer is stupid. No, don't be dumb. Don't be stupid. Don't be daft. A lot of weird insults like that, and a couple of classmates and I, and a couple of other students from other class periods of that teacher started keeping notes, quotations, if you will, in our notebooks, and we wrote down the times. We didn't have voice recorders with us. We didn't have video cameras. This was like 2004, 2005, so it's not like we had YouTube to humiliate the guy. I hope he's not teaching anymore. I hope he's retired, or I hope he got fired. Because he didn't deserve to teach. No, he didn't. Anyways, we did a petition against him, took it to the administrators. They more or less didn't give a shit. It's not that they laughed at us. They just didn't give a shit. They didn't believe us. It was really sad. And it didn't work. My parents believed me at least. But that wasn't enough. I hope he's not teaching anymore. Mr. Webb, if you're out there, fuck you. Okay, 9th grade, I took applied mathematics because I had an IEP, a 504 plan. I had a low math score on my WASL, which was the Washington Assessment Standard of Learning. So anyways, the WASL, which was the Washington Assessment of Student Learning, was the state standardized test when I was a kid in my childhood years, my teen years. I think it began in the early 90s, and then it went on until 2009. I was in the final school year of the WASL. Anyways, my test scores always sucked on it. Same with the ITBS, aka Iowa Test of Basic Skills. 3rd grade, that one began. 4th grade was a WASL. 5th or 6th grade was 5th, 6th, and 7th grades. It was alternating WASL, ITBS, and some other couple standardized tests. 8th grade, I remember, it was the math, science, reading, and writing WASLs. Oh my god, 4 subjects. It was horrible. I hated it. I hate standardized testing with a burning passion. Please see part 1 on my rant of standardized testing. But ultimately, my standardized testing score was too low for me to do Algebra 1 in high school. So I was put in applied mathematics, which at that high school I went to, essentially was behavioral dumping ground math class for students with behavioral difficulties, students who have loud outbursts, students who don't care and slam chairs on the floor, throw chairs at walls, throw books around, rip up pages. Not so much special ed students, but yeah, everyone in that class had an IEP or a 504 plan for behaviorally out of controlness. But more or less, that's how they were raised. As for me, and maybe 2 or 3 other people, we were in there by just chance of bad luck and bad standardized testing policies. It didn't really help. For 2 years, I was in this applied mathematics class. The books didn't change. The materials didn't change. It was all like outdated from the 80s or the 70s with this paperback textbook that wasn't a workbook. It looked like a workbook, but if you opened it, it was a textbook format. But it was paperback, and it was like the size of an iPad. It wasn't the size of a standard binder. No, it was, here's a folder, the regular size of a regular binder. Here's an iPad. This was the scale size of the math book to the binder. And it had the 3-hole punch on the side. You had to put it in your binder. I did, but I hated it. So anyways, it was a lame-ass math book, and it followed. I don't even know what curriculum it followed. It was just totally random stuff. And none of it ever made any sense. I had a lot of random worksheets. I had to watch lame VHS tapes. I had this teacher. He was obese like a whale. He was like a walrus. He was always unhealthy. He was missing days. He was constantly sick. He took more sick days than any other teacher I'd ever had in my life. He took so many sick days. Sometimes there were subs, and sometimes he probably didn't even call into the school and ask for a substitute to fill in for him. So, on those days, the classroom would be shut, door would be locked, no sign on the door from administration saying, oh, your teacher's out sick today, blah, blah, blah. And you'd either have to go to the lunchroom and sign in to, my teacher's not here, blah, 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 or you just skip. And that's what I did. And every time, my parents would get an automated phone call saying, your child missed 1 period today. And I would just tell my parents, hey, my teacher was sick again. He didn't show up. So anyways, stick around for part 3. Adios.